Guys, Christie here with It's a Book Thing, and it is September wrap up and October to be read. So, it has been a long month, and I'm sorry I haven't been able to record more. I owe you guys a giveaway and some reviews, but I have just been crazy busy. I apologize for that. I have been working my day job, sometimes 10, 12, 15-hour days, and I have just been crazy. And that has resulted in a pitiful month of only 2 books. 2 books, and those were at the beginning of the month. So I apologize that I haven't read more, but sometimes that just happens. So I am horribly behind in my reading and my videos and everything else book related, but I hope to eventually catch up. The work busyness hasn't slowed down. In fact, it probably will be busier this month, but hopefully I can get some time alone to do a little bit of reading and writing and, catch up just a tiny bit with things that are just for me. But I do owe you a giveaway. I reached 75 subscribers. Yay! So make sure you comment below and with what you are currently reading, and I will pick one lucky subscriber in 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, I will pick a subscriber and I will mail them a really awesome gift. I don't know what that gift will be, but it'll be awesome, and I'll make sure to blog about it and show you all what I'm going to give them. But that's a cool giveaway that I will be doing. So let's do my September wrap up, and I will tell you what I'm going to do for my October to be read. So the first book that I read in September of the 2 amazing books that I read was the 3rd book in the Surrender series by Melody Ann. These are adult contemporary books, and it was an ebook, and it was the 3rd book in the Surrender series, and I read this one because I was into the series at the time, and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. And I gave it 3 out of 5 stars because I felt compelled to do it, but I'm a little bit over the characters. I'm just a little bit over the whole premise. The first book was hot and wild and has a really high heat level, and I was into it, and I was like, oh, this is great, really alpha male character and 18 plus. I should have added that before, but great, loved it. I thought it was gritty and hardcore, and the second novel was not so much that way, and then the third, nah, and now I'm kind of over it. And I think there's going to be 2 more, and the 4th one comes out in November, and I'm not 100% sure I'm going to get it. I just kind of feel like the story is being drawn out longer than it really needs to be, and I'm kind of over it. I feel bad saying that because it's a fellow indie author, and I want to be able to be supportive of indie authors and supportive of my fellow writers, but I'm a little bit over it. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I'm going to have to think on that. The next book does come out, like I said, in November 10th, I think. So I'll have to think about that. If you've read these books, let me know what you think. Comment below. But let me know. Okay, and the second book I read, second and last book I read in September was actually took the #1 spot as the #1 book that I've read for this year, and that was The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. And I was actually given this book by Bloomsbury to read and review, and that does not, however, change the fact that I will give you my honest review on this. And I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. This was a phenomenal read, and here is why. It got some really, really strange reviews. People either liked it or hated it. There was no in between for this book. And it was a slow burner book, which means it took some time to get to the action, to get to what the meat and bones of the book. No pun intended. No pun intended. It took some time to get to what the book was about, but it is so worth it. So if you put this down because you were bored in the first 100 pages, you missed out in what the book was all about. You missed out on why it's a slow burn, why she has flashbacks, why it's a slow buildup to something that is so climactic and so phenomenally written that it leaves you just like, ugh. The #1 read for the year, #1 read so far for 2013. Loved it. Cannot wait for book 2 to come out. So awesome. So awesome. The characters were great, well written, well fleshed out. You really rooted for everybody in this book. The evil people you wanted to see go like, oh, just bite it. And the good characters were great. The plot was well fleshed out. The characters done well. I just think this, when I got it, it was touted as that next novel. And I was like, yeah, right. The next novel, the next big thing from a nobody writer, really? But it's so good. I highly recommend it. If you haven't read this or you don't know what it is, go out and get it. The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. Slow burn, totally worth it. Totally worth it. Loved it. Okay, so for October, there are a couple books that I have to read. The It's a Book Thing book club's kind of on hiatus because I'm working so much that I just don't have time to be part of a book club right now. I feel really bad having to do that, but I just am crazy busy. But for August, we were reading, for September, we were reading The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. I would really like to finish that. Like I said, I'm like 115 pages in. I'm going to finish that. That's the first book I'm going to finish this month. It's going to get done. I'm going to read it. So I'm going to finish that. Then very next to that, I'm going to read Outpost by Anna Guari. And then, of course, I'm going to read Horde by Anna Guari. These are very, yes. So those. And then, of course, Never Fade, which is the second book in the Darkest Minds series by Alexander Bracken. Of course, the first book being The Darkest Minds. And I can't wait for that. I have that on pre-order, so I'm really excited. Next week, I'm going to get that book. I'm so excited. And then I want to finish the second book in the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare, Clockwork Prince. So those are the 5 books that I really want to read in in October. I'm not setting myself up to read that much more, but those are the books I really want to read. So I'm hoping to get those done, but I usually, like, what I've been reading is between 10 and 15 books a month, but because I've been so busy, I haven't been able to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the books that I have to read, which are all these. I'm going to put them in this little Tupperware jar. And then once I finish the books that I want to read, once I finish those books, then I'm going to pick the books out of the jar. And then, so I'll review a book. I'll come on and I'll I'll review a book and I'll pick a book out of the jar. So let me go through what those books are for you really, really quick so that you'll know what books are going in the jar. So here we have Infernos by Dan Brown going in the jar. We have Splintered by A.G. Howard. We have Ruby Red by Kirsten Gere. And we have Uglies. Can't wait to read that by Scott Westerfeld. This way I'll get some of these books read that are in my thing. We have Grave Mercy by R.L. Fevers. That's that Assassins one. We have the final book in the Infernal Devices series, Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare, ladies and gentlemen, going in the to be read jar. We have Zoe Rogue by Lizzie Ford. Shout out to indie author, going in the jar. We have Something Strange and Deadly by Susan Dennard. Heard wonderful, great things about that. Going in the to be read jar. Icons by Margaret Stoll. Margaret Stoll won half of the Beautiful Creatures collaboration. Another Scott Westerfeld, Leviathan. I love the cover of that book. It's so beautiful. Okay, we have Reboot. She's Dead for 180 Minutes. Amy Tintera. Going in the book thing. Prodigy, a legend novel by Mary Lou. The third book's coming out soon, right? Isn't that coming out? Or is it coming out next year? We'll have to look that up. Painted Faces by L.H. Causeway. It's the one about, has the guys that dress up like girls, right? In Ireland. I have way too many books to read. Okay, we have The Mask of the Red Death by Bethany Griffin. Excuse me. Looks so good. Beautiful cover. Beautiful cover. The Witch and the Wizard by James Patterson. It's one of, he has a couple of, my son, a couple of young adult books, and my son is reading one of them, one of his series. Yeah. Anyway, I can't remember which one it was. Anti-Goddess that just came out this month by Kendara Blake. Looks good. And we have Unravel Me, book 2 in the Shatter Me series by Tahara Mafi. Confessions of a Hater by Caprice Crane. I started this but could not get through it, so I want to try to get through it. So we'll put that in the to be read jar. Hopefully, if I try again, we'll see. My Fair Godmother by Jeanette Ralston. This looks like a fun read. I think I need a fun read every once in a while. Throne of Glass, a retelling of Cinderella with a little bit of a kick to it. The kick meaning it's about assassins. The Immortal Rules, a scary vampire story. The Chaos of Stars by Kristen White. Just came out 2 weeks ago. It's about Egyptian mythology. Kyle versus Layla by Stuart Wilson. This was given to me by the author to read and review, and I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. So let's get it in the to be read jar. Lost Voices by Sarah Porter. This is a mermaid story. Love me a mermaid story. Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendara Blake. in the to be read jar. Got it this summer. Really want to get through this. Liesel and Poe by Lauren Oliver. This was recommended by Catastic. Love the cover. Partial by Dan Wells. It's about the end of civilization. End of civilization. Exiled by Rochelle Workman. Got that on my tablet. That is dead right now. I'm hoping to charge it up. Hallowed, the second book in the oh my gosh, my brain just went blank. I'll remember. I'll put it below while I'm editing. Sanctum by Sarah Fine. To be completely honest, I do not remember what that one is about. Eve by Anna Carey. I remember what the book looks like. I don't remember exactly what it's about. Rules of Entanglement by Gina Maxwell. Contemporary adult romance. That one. Her first book was Seduced by Cinderella or something like that. Awesome. Loved it. So I wanted to read that one. Forsaken by Heather Flenner. Can't remember. That's pretty bad. Embrace by Jessica Shirvington. I think that one's up here somewhere. Which means it's a recent. There it is. Which means it's a recent buy. Divergent by Veronica Roth. I bought this one a long time ago when it first came out on my tablet, and I just haven't read it yet. Glow by Amy Kathleen Riley. This was a recent purchase. I haven't even hauled it yet. It's upstairs in my thing, so I haven't hauled it yet. Halo by Alexander Abbott. I can't remember. Adornetto. Again, a recent purchase. Over here. Don't worry, just a couple more. Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. Book 2 in the Shadow and Bone series. Loved Shadow and Bone. Loved it. Across the Universe by Beth Revis. First book in that series. Space Story. Feed by Mira Grant. It's a zombie story. I was about to go, but because I got to act it out. Tasting Never by C.M. Stunich. I think this is a new adult story. Iona, the second book in this duology by Alison Goodman. This is Iona. Ion was fabulous. Simply fabulous. And Wicked Lovely by Melissa Marr. Whew. So that is my to be read jar. So I will make sure that once I finish these books that I have down, the 5 books that I have down that I want to read for October, that I start picking from my to be read jar. And I will put that right up here so that when I finish the books on my to be read list, I will start picking from my from my TBR jar. So, like I said, it's a giveaway time. Make sure that you list a book that you are currently reading below and that you're interested in the giveaway. And I will put something really awesome together. It'll be going for 2 weeks. So on October the 15th, it will be closed. And it is for the continental United States and Canada. Sorry to those outside of that area. I apologize, but it costs way too much money to ship outside of that area, so I apologize, but you will get a couple of books and some local Utah stuff, and I will be showing that off little bits and pieces here and there on my blog, so stay tuned to that. and we will go from there. So sorry this was so long. Enjoy. Make sure if you like what you saw that you like, share, and subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, make sure that you put those below, and keep reading, and we'll talk to everybody again. See ya!